Uh, there are really no words for this. America will never be the same again. Is really one of the only ways I can describe it. The moderate right died yesterday with the death of Charlie Kirk. And forgive me if there's a lot of umming and ahhing because I don't have a script prepared. Um, this is just it's just so weird, so strange to say Charlie Kirk has died. The death of Charlie Kirk, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is no longer with us. And just yesterday, not you, less than an hour before he was shot, he posted less than 20 minutes before he started speaking at the Utah Valley University. He tweeted something. Not sure what, but he did tweet something. It was his last ever tweet, and it's just gone. He's just gone. The moderate right is gone. The left, they truly don't know what they have done. They killed Charlie Kirk. They encouraged people to kill Charlie Kirk. Most of them did. Cenk, to his credit, has condemned it. Cenk, to his credit, is working across the aisle, but most leftists, people like Hassan, he has blood on his hands. Hassan and those communist agitators who feign condolences and feign feign their thoughts and prayers and feign remembrance. They have blood on their hands. Every single one of them has blood on their hands. Harry Sisson, Dean Parker, his reaction looked like legitimate. He apologized, I think. He had to explain himself. What are you doing explaining yourself? You're a white man. You can have all the same opinions, but if you cry or mourn the death of somebody your fans don't agree with, you're just as bad as the rest of them. So it doesn't matter. You can have the same opinions as them, but as you're still white, you're still male, and he's in relatively good shape. So they'll hate you no matter what. So welcome to our side. I forgot his name. Not Harry. Dean. Yeah. But a lot of leftists have blood on their hands, and they're not going to be prosecuted, of course. Hassan, I've tweeted this a couple of times. Hassan should be done for indictment. He has blood on his hands. He has mentally ill followers who absolutely will pick up arms and shoot somebody they disagree with. Hassan knew Charlie Kirk in person, and all these leftist twats going around saying, "Oh, it's ironic. He's talking about gun violence and he died getting shot." Insufferable, fucking smug, disgusting. What the fuck is wrong with you? He just died, and you feel like that's an appropriate thing to say? Many people on the left in Australia as well feel like that's an appropriate thing to say. Matt Walsh said it very well. The mainstream left wants this dead. It's not the fringe. The fringe of the left, like the minority of the left doesn't want us dead. They just want to have conversations, just like Charlie Kirk. But a lot of the mainstream left want the right dead. You see with the Ukrainian girl who was murdered on that light rail, the tram in North Carolina. The left lying. Hassan says, "Oh, if he had free healthcare, she'd still be alive." How the fuck does that compute? What? That doesn't. Australia has free healthcare, which is good. Every other Western country has free healthcare. We have Chrome as well. Nowhere near as much as the United States, but what a ridiculous thing to say. And black people coming out and saying, "Oh, good job" to the black man who murdered that Ukrainian girl, and they did that with the man who murdered Austin Metcalf. Two innocent, beautiful young adults murdered at the hands of black people, and a lot of black people support that. A lot of black people donating their money, and there's already a fundraiser for the black man and the Ukrainian girl. That's really gone out of the headlines the last couple of days. But to get back to Charlie Kirk, one of his final tweets, it was a picture of the Ukrainian girl looking up at the black man after she's been stabbed in fear, and it's captioned, "America will never be the same again." And he's right. That is probably the most prophetic tweet ever. America will never be the same again. Like, the end of this week and like the start of this week, two completely different worlds. In not just American politics, I messaged my friend about this yesterday. It feels like Charlie Kirk's assassination is a watershed moment for not just American politics, but for politics across the Anglosphere. If you couldn't tell, I'm from Australia. And Nick Fuentes, who got at 200,000 live viewers on his stream, is in memoriam tribute to Charlie Kirk. He said to his followers, do not pick up arms, and he will truly disavow. He had a disgusted look on his face, like he was truly would be disgusted if one of his followers would commit violence in his name, and I believe him. But people like Zoomer Historian, or even Australian right-wing influencers, they have a bloodlust. I'm not finger wagging at Zoomer Historian, but it's understandable. I'm not saying go out and commit crimes, but the left. This is the left's fault. The left's Australian leftists either saying it's good or it's okay to support the brutal murder of Charlie Kirk. His daughter heard something scary and her instinctual reaction was to run to him. What the fuck is wrong with leftists? Whatever you think of his politics, I didn't always agree with him. I wasn't too fond of his politics, but it's from the videos that have been published after he passed away. He was a great father, playing with his children, and it just gets you right in the feels, doesn't it? Just playing with his children, like being nice, being a father, doing what men are supposed to do, building sandcastles with his little daughter, and shopping for toys with his daughter, and they'll never get that experience ever again. The 1-year-old son will most certainly not remember Charlie Kirk. And Drew Pavlou said something I unfortunately agree with. That his 3-year-old daughter's first memory, like core memory, like in Inside Out, will be her father just getting shot and blood coming out of his neck. What the fuck is wrong with you if you support that? If you're publicly celebrating that, what the fuck is wrong with you? Look in a mirror, for fuck's sake. So many leftists lost their job in the past day for celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, which is good. That is a silver lining. And hopefully those leftists publicly celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk are never able to find work ever again. How many lives has the left ruined over a joke? That woman who made a joke, when she went to Africa, it was 12 years ago. I hope I don't get AIDS. And by the time she landed, she had been fired. That's the left. That is the left. We need to do what they did to us times 100 in terms of like societals. Not. I'm not saying go around killing leftists. Of course not. But we have to start getting leftists fired from their jobs. Communists especially. I was at the March for Australia where we marched against mass migration. Somebody bought a fucking North Korean flag. Somebody bought an East German flag. That might have been the same person, I'm not too sure. Communist flags. Somebody bought a hammer and sickle. How fucking dare you? Australian men laid down their lives to stop that evil ideology spreading, the most destructive ideology in human history. Communism is a wicked, disgusting, godless ideology. And as far as I'm concerned, if you support communism, you should either be deported or you should be in a jail cell. It's disgusting. I don't give a fuck about your free speech. If we were communists want to ban our free speech, why should we respect their free speech? It's disgusting. No, polite society should not tolerate communism or any far left ideology, for a matter of fact. Is truly wicked. And the paradox of tolerance, we have to ban, we're getting off track, but we have to ban these disgusting, wicked leftist ideologies that hate life and want us dead. Every single leftist publicly celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, they should be in jail. Good on Trump. I don't like Trump that much, but good on him. Good on his cabinet for saying, if you're a foreigner and you're celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, do not expect to come to this country. And hopefully they deport foreigners celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And no, it's not. He's not deporting people for criticizing the president's favorite YouTuber. He's celebrating the death and celebrating political violence. That person who murdered Charlie Kirk ought to be publicly executed, live streamed across the world. Because who knows what will happen next? Who knows who on the right is going to shoot somebody on the left, which will cause a reaction, endless circle of violence, left, right, people on left and right just constantly killing each other. Civil war is inevitable in the United States and the United Kingdom. People say, "Oh, civil war's not going to happen in the United Kingdom. They don't have guns." Well, agitated people who just want to be left alone, they can be really crafty. And what you're doing to their children? Millions of young girls, over 1 million young girls raped by Pakistani gangs. You don't know what young men, fighting age men who are angry and have nothing to lose are willing to do. It's going to look more like the Troubles than a conventional war. Like, it's not going to look like the Civil War with two states opposing. It'll look like the Troubles. Just constant political turmoil. But any far leftist calling for political assassinations or endorsing political assassinations need to take a good hard look in the mirror and look at what you've done. Look at what you've done to this country. They have caused untold damage to this country. They have caused untold damage to the lives of everybody who saw that. How many people who were in person and saw Charlie Kirk die are going to kill themselves now? Imagine seeing that. And some guy who you saw the video, it might be on the screen right now, signaling. He looks like he's signaling to somebody. Oh, good job, is what he's saying. Why is he not being questioned? Why has he not been questioned? Who is he signaling to? Is he celebrating, or is he signaling to somebody like, good job, you got him? That's absolutely disgusting. He should be questioned. And they've arrested 2 people. I don't know if they're patsies. People are blaming Israel. I don't like Israel. I'm not going to say they're responsible for it. Like, that wouldn't make any sense. I don't know why they'd assassinate Charlie Kirk. He's barely criticised Israel at all. Joel Davis on his Telegram said that the reason they would target somebody like Kirk instead of one of the more the most prominent Israel-critical people on the right, such as Nick Fuentes or Tucker Carlson, is that Kirk's entire career was built by Israelis, by Zionism, and that they're going to destroy him to warn the other Gentile Israel activists to fall in line, or this will happen to you. I don't know about that. I agree that the police should have already arrested somebody, and it looks extremely suspicious, the fact that they arrested 2 people and let them go. Were they patsies? And this is what the government constantly lying to its citizens has done, where immediately something happens and, oh, it's Israel. We as a society are sick. America is sick. The West is sick. How long until... A couple of months ago, a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband, I think it was her husband, shot dead, murdered. I think they died. I don't know if they caught the guy. Hopefully we don't forget Charlie Kirk, because this is our generation's MLK. A political activist. This is why it's more severe, worse than Trump. Because Trump, at least he's a politician. If people calling for his death, at least he's in the public sphere and Trump knows what he's getting into, which you shouldn't go around like assassinating politicians, but it's at least understandable. But Charlie Kirk's a private citizen. He's not an employee of the government. He's not an employee of the people who assassinate him. He doesn't answer to them. And a private citizen being murdered for his political beliefs. What precedent does that set? Am I next? I'm to the right of Charlie Kirk. Absolutely, they want me dead. They shot him from far away like a fucking coward. A fucking coward couldn't go up and show his face. Not even debate him. Not even try to prove Charlie wrong, or even show his face to the world when he murdered Charlie Kirk in cold blood, but almost 200 meters away, 400 feet away, tried to murder Charlie Kirk. Charlie had no idea who he was. Charlie was willing to have a conversation with anybody. He was the nicest person on the right. And as I said earlier, the left, they truly don't know what they've done. They've no fucking clue what they've done. Nick Fuentes is going to be the most popular right-wing activist. And people are saying that he's too moderate. If Nick Fuentes is too moderate for these people, for the right, what the hell have you done? And I would never expect you to see that. Obviously, there are people that think Nick Fuentes is moderate, and there are pagans who just want to cause as much destruction as possible. But they were like relatively segregated. They weren't too popular. But after Charlie Kirk got killed, I saw multiple tweets that garnered replies to a post that garnered a significant amount of likes, saying that Nick was too moderate. And back to my point, I'm more right-wing than Charlie Kirk. Many people are more right-wing than Charlie Kirk was. He was the more moderate ones. He was willing to have a conversation. If they were willing to kill him from 200 meters away, 150, 200 meters away, 400 feet away, what are they willing to do to me and other right-wing activists that they constantly lied about us for weeks, calling us neo-Nazis for a protesting mass migration going to the March for Australia? This is going to happen in Australia soon. Family Geordies, credit to him, regardless of your thoughts on him, credit to him, because his house was firebombed. He was the victim of, it was sort of different. It was organised crime tried to silence him. But it's sort of the same thing. He was targeted for his political beliefs. Credit to him. Good on him for calling this out, calling out these wickedness, blatant murder of Charlie Kirk. Imagine that. Once again, I know I've said this, but I can't emphasize it enough. His children over there. His daughter ran up to him, but she was scared. She ran up to him. The death penalty will not be enough for what that man, 4chan, has found out who he was. I don't know if it is him or not, but 4chan is actually pretty good at that stuff. I'm lost for words right now. I can't say anything, but I've already been speaking for around 18 minutes. It's time for the right to pull our finger out and get serious and get strong, build up strength, hit the gym, eat healthy, practice self-defense, go to self-defense classes, do whatever you can to stay safe, protect, if you've got young family, protect your wife and children, make sure nothing bad happens to them, because who knows what's going to happen in the coming weeks and months. It's a matter of time before something like this happens in Australia. We don't have guns. Although Desi Freeman was able to access the gun, he shot 2 police officers. They still haven't found him. Rest in peace to the police officers, of course. But how long until someone like that... it's happened in the UK. 2 politicians in the last 10 years have been stabbed at... the British politicians do this thing... constituency surgeries or something. I can't remember the name of them. But it's sort of like what Charlie Kirk does. They have members of their constituency come up and talk to them, to explain to them what the problems are in their electorate, in their constituency, and the politicians hear them out. And 2 of them were killed. Joe Cox and Mike Amesbury, I think, Mike Amesbury was the one who assaulted that guy, CCTV. Joe Cox, I can't remember the other guy's name. One is from Labour, one was from Conservatives, and they were both stabbed, I believe. And that can happen in Australia. How long until some mentally ill communist, inspired by somebody like Purple Pingers, who has encouraged terrorist events, or is encouraged by Luigi Mangione, or the man who murdered Charlie Kirk, to go out and murder a right-wing activist. Drew Pavler was saying that his mother caught him right after Charlie Kirk was announced that Charlie Kirk was murdered. He died, and told him to stop doing political activism. What the fuck? Now, I'm not questioning his mother. Obviously, any mother would be in that position. It's understandable. A mother always looks out for her child, no matter what. But regardless of your thoughts on Drew Pavlou, or whoever, for their political opinions, you shouldn't be killing people for their beliefs. And that's why it's so important. People have said, I said that Albanese should condemn the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and I believe he has. I don't think he has on social media yet, though. And people have said, who cares, he's an American citizen. That's not the point. The point is that this is the most high-profile assassination this century, and it wasn't of a politician, it was of a private citizen exercising his right to freedom of speech, and in a time of growing political division, we need politicians, and it's mainly coming from the left. We need a left-wing politician like Albanese, the Prime Minister, to come out and say, no, that is wrong. We do not murder people for their political beliefs, regardless of what you think on them. In a lot of these people, most of the people are to the left of Anthony Albanese. I'm probably closer on the political spectrum to Anthony Albanese than they are. They're so far left. They're so far gone. So mentally ill. I've been speaking for almost 22 minutes now. But America will never be the same again. The beginning of the week and the end of the week, two different worlds in Anglosphere politics. People are calling for segregation now. People are calling for the deportation of all Africans, even from the United States. Who knows what politics is going to look like in the coming months and the coming years. So, I don't have anything else left to say, actually. So, I do have a big video coming out soon. It might be an hour long. Hopefully it's not that long. It is about Nick Fuentes. So, if that interests you, please stay tuned. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts. Just say a prayer for Charlie Kirk. Say a prayer for his family. Say a prayer for the United States as well. I'm Australian. I'll try to remember to say a prayer for the well-being of the United States and her citizens, as well as Australia and her citizens, because we don't need people killing each other over their political beliefs. People are saying, correctly online, are saying that you do not want a civil war. You may think you want a civil war, but you do not want a civil war. You do not want to kill your fellow countrymen, and I have to believe that. I've got no reason to not believe that. But I think Count Dankula said it well, that all the people on the far right who just want to say they want to kill non-whites, if they have an opportunity, they've got a gun, and the black person or a political opponent is in a ditch, do they seriously not think that God would be screaming in their ear, telling you, what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? Like, their conscience wouldn't just take them instantly, and they wouldn't be able to pull the trigger. It's like in the Fox and the Hound at the end, where the hunter has a clear shot on the fox, and at this point, the fox and the hound, they're not friends. They hate each other. The hound tried to kill the fox, but the fox saved the hound. And the hunter has a clear shot, and the hound comes in and protects the fox, and the hunter can't pull the trigger because it's not worth it. And so that the fox lives, which is a very good ending. But thank you all for watching. God bless you all, and goodbye. Vale, Charlie Kirk.